Halo, dzień dobry, witam Was bardzo serdecznie. Czekamy na połączenie z Bruno Pinheiro. Witamy w zimnej Anglii. Dzisiaj, czekajcie, zobaczę. Nie pada deszcz. Nie, deszcz pada, ale nie pada śnieg. To już jest wielki, wielki plus. Czekamy na Bruno. No i panowie i panie, doczekaliśmy się pierwszego transferu. Hubert Wołąkiewicz. O, jest Bruno. Jak dodać Bruno? Halo, Bruno. Bruno. O, tak jest, będziesz już w wideo. Wrzucamy to. Czekamy teraz na Bruno. Przepraszam, że trzęsę kamerą. O, czekamy. Słabość internetu w Anglii. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Oh, sorry. Good morning to me. Good evening to you, I guess.
Yes, dzień dobry, no?
Dzień dobry. I'm very, very sorry because when I contacted you, I've prepared all the questions and we have been having conversations in English. To be honest with you, I feel slightly more comfortable in English. Would it be okay for us to have this conversation in that language?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Ja mówię trochę po polsku.
Okay, that's awesome because it's even more than I speak Portuguese. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just here it's almost sunset, and I'm just chilling at home. All good.
Okay. Have we missed anything today? Because I understand that now in Hong Kong, what is it? Was it 6 p.m. now?
Now, yeah, around 6 p.m.
Okay, but let me again apologize to you because the subscribers don't know. When I contacted you first, I missed the information about your career. I thought you're still in India, and it's like, yeah, it's going to be easy. I'm going to like there's at least 6 hours difference. Everything would be fine. And then you say, no, I'm not playing in India anymore. You need to change the address.
Yeah, I'm in China now, in Hong Kong. I changed now. I came here.
Just a silly question. I know that English FA works really hard with Chinese FA in terms of football. Chinese are trying to win the World Cup bid. Do you see any changes in football, of course?
Well, in China, there is a lot of investment, financial investment in football. People are starting to invest a lot, bringing very big names into Chinese football. But to be honest, Hong Kong is a different league, and I'm still here around 1.5 months. So the reality that I see here is not very accurate. So my opinion about that is more generally than on the field than to be here.
Okay, I get it. If this is okay with you, I would love to go back to good times when you played for us. I hope that's okay with you. Again, let me just ask you a very simple question. What are you doing on Sunday at 9 a.m. in the morning?
Well, I don't know. I have nothing planned so far.
That is very good. I was just wondering if you would like to come to our city. We're going to play the first game after the very long winter break. We need a central defender. Are you okay to play for us?
Yeah, let's go. I will just catch a plane. I don't know if I need to be in quarantine because of coronavirus.
Now you got me here. When I was preparing this interview, I was just wondering, what position do you play? Because when you played Widzew, I remembered you as central defender. Sometimes, very rarely, you were put as a defensive midfielder. Sometimes you were playing as a central defender, but now Wikipedia says you're a central defender. What's your position now?
Well, actually, as you said, and quite well, I started my career, most of my career I play as a defensive midfield, but of course, my youth formation was always as a center back. So in this moment, I feel quite good. It's quite natural for me to perform in these two positions. So So I'm quite comfortable to play in both positions. For me, there is no difference at all.
Okay, thank you. Now, I have a question. Before I contacted you, I sent you some people call it notorious, I call it famous picture when you tackle Marcin Mięciel at the derby game. When I was preparing this interview, I found information from you when you said that was your first ever red card. That season, you had just one booking, as far as I remember. The picture, has it been following you? Yes, no?
Yeah. This was a quite marking moment for me because it was a big derby. That means a lot for the fans. It was a Łódź derby. And we were struggling in that match. We were losing 1-0 at home. And this guy especially scored, and he provoked our fans making the L sign. So
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, of course. and yeah, I just make a big bullseye on his back, and I tried to catch him till the end. At least if we don't get the 3 points, emotionally I will get something from the derby. If maybe now I would do it differently. It was too much an emotion reaction, which led me to a red card, and I was suspended, I believe, 2 or 3 games. Mm-hmm. And I eventually armed more the team to be suspended than what I've won with this tackle. But of course, people, they recognize my feelings because probably they were feeling the same. And yeah, these people all the time call me of that picture against after 1 or 2 years that I left Widzew, they made a big flag in a game against I don't remember the name now. And so I guess that it was also a marking point for the fans also.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, I'm not speaking for all the fans, but for me, especially after what happened when you left and all the problems, financial problems, this photo represents, I know that it was a vicious tackle. I know you got sent off for that, but to me, it represents fighting for your right. Honestly, I know what it sounds like, but it's a representation of fighting for the reality you want, especially for us, that our club went into insolvency. So when we asked for the questions from the fans, most of them said that this is epic photo that represents quite a lot to them. Now, coming back to this photo, let me ask you a question. Does it give you a bad name in the leagues that you play?
No, I don't think that. In Poland, perhaps I got this tag on my back, but in the other countries that I've played with, it's people normally don't speak about it or know about it.
When you played for Widzew, the fans, I mean, again, I need to explain. Some fans are too young to remember you. Some fans give you the best name ever. You're in everyone's really good books. You're like an urban myth to us because people say, oh, Bruno Pinheiro, oh yes, he was amazing. We haven't, since you left, we haven't seen that many players who knew how to tackle like you, who had those massive lungs to run box to box, and who could read the game just like you did. My question is, the way you played for us, was it your natural character or was it like a mask and in real life you're a very different person?
No, actually, yes. I'm outside. I'm really a calm person. I like to be in my space, to be quiet, to be patient. But in Widzew was a very unique experience for me. When you go inside the pitch, especially when we play home, and you see all this atmosphere with the Widzew fans, you cannot resist it. You put your adrenaline is pumping until the roof. So you go there and you just, and everybody knows that we went through very serious financial problems, and I was young. I was going to be a father for the first time, and the only thing that kept pushing me to give 120% every game was the fans, because it was impossible to go inside and don't give everything for them, because the atmosphere was something that I never experienced, or before or after. It's something unique, really.
Wow, I didn't expect an answer like that. Thank you. Coming back to your beginnings, I remember that first was Boavista, then you went to Cyprus, and then you appeared in Łódź. When you were approached by Widzew, what was your first reaction? Because I was always wondering, what, where am I going? Was it like that, or maybe it was something different?
No, I was in Cyprus. I did a very good season there, and of course, I wanted to move into a better league. And a Portuguese that after became a friend of mine, he lived in Łódź for many years. He had a Polish family, Polish wife. He had a daughter there already, and he approached me if I wanted to go to Widzew. And it's funny because in Boavista I've played with Rafael, with Grzelak. So, and then after he goes also to Widzew. So I asked about a little bit. It's not, I mean, Widzew was not a name that I never heard before. It was a name that I knew not very well. But of course, after I do some little research, I can see the dimension of the team, and of course the videos that I saw of the fans and everything. You start to okay, this is my next step. This is very important for me. And the sport, I mean, as a sportive side, in the side of it, it was good also, because I continued to be called up for the national team under 21 of Portugal, Olympic team of Portugal. So Widzew gave me also this visibility to continue of the continuation of my international career. So it was despite all the financial problems and of course that all the time affects a little bit your performance, because mentally you're not clean or head. I think that it was 2 amazing seasons that I was there, and it helped a lot in my career. I'm very proud of it.
Thank you very much. Again, I wanted to ask about motivation while you joined us, but you described it perfectly. Now, you said that there was Rafał Grzelak, whom you met at Boavista. Also, you had some Portuguese background in the city. How easy or how difficult was it for you to adopt in that team? You said you were young, you had some experience going abroad, but at the same time your family was getting bigger. How was it to cope in this environment, new language, new culture?
Yeah, well, actually, I had the luck to come in a dressing room that was very, very strong. They last year they were champions, they were promoted, and they had a very, very good nucleus of the dressing room, where you had like Marcin Robak, and you have Ostrowski, and you have Szymanek, Bienuk, Hugo, and they really make a very strong dressing room, which helped me a lot. And of course, after with this Portuguese friend of mine, that was until today, and me and my family thanks him for everything that he did for us, because it was unremarkable. It was unbelievable what he did for us, which also helped me a lot to adapt. And of course, after I had Dudu that speak Brazilian, and he already speak a little bit of Polish, Hugo also speak quite fluent Polish. So these guys helped me a lot to adapt, and for me it was quite easy. Also, the staff was unbelievable with me. They were very friendly, and we made a very good family there. Inside, we were a true family.
Okay, thank you. This interview is not just about you as a football player, but also I would like to concentrate on you as a human being. I know you have visited different parts of the world, but when you came to Poland, I'm not saying we are a third world country, but was there anything about the rules, the mentality, the approach to life that surprised you in a positive or negative way?
No, I mean, for me, every experience is positive. Even though we have lows and highs in our lives, if we can get the good things, you can get it even from the worst of the situation. So for me, everything would be good for my experience to develop myself. In Poland, to be honest, the reality that I encountered was different because was the first of all was the weather. The weather was incredibly cold. And to make training with snow almost until your knees sometimes, not every time, but and play in very cold temperatures and all was something different. But about the city, Łódź, I'm sure that back then we didn't have, for example, a highway to Warsaw or to anywhere. It was like these national roads where we take every time we go to play in Gdansk was like 7-8 hours of bus. Was unbelievable. But I know now that I continue to speak with some friends that I have that at Łódź. It's totally different now. It's a much better city. And about the culture, also a little bit different. Polish culture is a little bit more conservative. They're not so extravagant, not so much, how can I say, they're more close to themselves. But of course, after you got them as a friends, they give you everything. This is the best thing that I can say about Polish people.
Thank you. Wow. Again, pleasure. Bruno, I was checking you on Instagram like a proper researcher, and I found that every now and again you post Widzew related content. How close are we to your heart?
Well, Widzew, it was an unbelievable experience, like I said before to me. I had, despite everything, I have unbelievable moments there. And of course, every time that I see, when I get, for example, because I have also games on the weekends and everything, but sometimes I post that I saw games on the computer, lives of Widzew and everything. I try to follow, even on Instagram and everything. I try to follow as much as I can Widzew, and of course, it's something that I'm very proud of to represent Widzew. It's a very proud moment of my career, and of course, it's something that I would put on my social media because it's a very good moment for me, and I want to share with the people that I was there. I was happy. And that I enjoyed a lot to be these 2 years with Widzew.
You played in many leagues. I've double checked the Indian League and the crowd and the stadium. You know that now we have new home, the same venue, but the same address but different venue. What was the biggest crowd you've ever played for?
Well, the biggest crowd was in India. Actually, it was
it's fine.
It was like I don't know, almost 100,000 people.
Okay.
Really,
but are
really
they as passionate as we are? Yes, they are.
No, as passionate. It's different. It's totally different atmosphere. I mean, in Poland, you have a football culture. In India, they are still developing this football culture. We have it in the place that I've played in Goa. We have a football culture. It's a state that already knows about football, that likes football. But in the other states of India, it's more like cricket. And all people are only starting to get to know how football is and get passionate about it. But in Poland, it's something that it's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. The atmosphere everywhere. It's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
We know. I know.
That's what I said to you before. When I get every time to the pitch in Widzew, it's like I'm going to war for my life. It's to kill or die. It's the experience, adrenaline that you feel. It's like I said, it's nothing that I felt before or after. It's totally different. And now I see that you have a new stadium, and in all the country we are the third stadium with the best attendance in the whole country. That means a lot. It's for me is the biggest team in Poland, and the fans can be very proud of it.
I wish I didn't have any more questions because I think this is the end. We should finish the interview here now with the punchline you gave. But I have something also very sweet. You scored 2 goals for Widzew. Which of those 2 was sweeter to you? I think I know the answer, but I'll leave it to you.
Well, I mean, the first goal against Polonia Bytom was my first goal, so it meant something. But of course, the goal against Lech Poznan in the pitch that we didn't win for 30 years or something.
Yeah.
And it was a very important moment for us. Lech Poznan was in a very good stage. It was one of the teams that invested more money at the time, and it was really amazing. The game that we played there, I played there as a number 10 actually, as a playmaker in front of. Yeah, I was closer to the strikers, and I played sometimes as a number 10 in Widzew. And it meant something. My wife was pregnant, and I scored that goal. And especially for the fans were so crazy, were so happy that we won there in such a difficult stadium after so many years. And of course, this was the most important goal that I've scored in Poland.
Let me again say thank you very much. Also, the tackle was historical, but the goal was also splendid. I watched the highlights of the game before I spoke to you, and I just need to say that when I watched you play, you were just passing and distributing the ball, and I was like, whoa, we definitely need quality like you. So again, on Sunday, if you're available, just come to us.
Okay, I need to see if I have training or not. I need to check with the coach.
I'll speak to him there. I'll give you an excuse. Now, my question is, you came after 2 years when Widzew won 2 consecutive promotions to the Ekstraklasa. The first season, the squad was kind of strong, I would say. The second season you were in, there were kind of big number of outgoing transfers. But now from the perspective, sorry, I need to look at the screen. You played in 2010-11 with Rafał Grzelak, Prejusz Nakulma, you had Uka, you had Cernas, Robak, Dudu, and the following season there was Nika Jalamidze or Patryk Wolański. When you played with them, did you have the chance to recognize a talent that would actually mean something in world football? In your time, there was Stępiński, who now plays in Italy.
Yes. Actually, that's the name I was going to give you. Mariusz Stępiński was very young when I was there. He was 18 or 17 or something. You can see that he has also a lot of potential. And unfortunately for him, he managed to transform this potential into quality and now playing in Italy in a very good league. But of course, if we need to speak about other names, I will give you one more name that for me was a class apart from the others. For me, was Marcin Hobak. You know, with this guy, you give him half a chance, he will score. It was unbelievable. You know, he was struggling at the time with some injuries. He was not playing very often, but we knew that when he was 100%, he was going to play. We knew that our chance to score was just, we are going to score for sure. This guy will score 1, 2, 3. And so this means a lot for a team that can count on this kind of quality as a striker. I knew that this guy was something apart, but of course we had Bieniuk, was amazing quality. Uka also, Dudu was making unbelievable seasons in Widzew. Panka, Cernas did unbelievable season that year also, but you know, for me, a different class was actually Hobak.
You forgot your own name.
No, just one of the 11.
I beg. It's not because I talk to you now. I beg to disagree. Honestly, there's always this gelling player who needs to gel the lines and distribute the balls, and I think it was you at the time.
Thank you.
Pleasure is mine. When I was browsing the squad you played with, there was this guy Krzysztof Ostrowski, and you mentioned him. I remember that because when you came in, there was a different manager, and then in the middle of the season, there was another manager, Michniewicz. And Michniewicz, as far as I remember, said about Ostrowski that from Monday to Friday, he was international level at the training ground. When Saturday came, all the superpowers gone. Was it really the case with him?
Well, to be honest, I think it's a little bit unfair. Of course, you have in the football community, we have like a saying that we have the training players and the game players. Some
Okay.
players, Maradona in the training, and then in the game nothing, and then the other guys during the week they don't do nothing. In the game they show up and they're unbelievable. I don't think Ostrovsky can fill up in this kind of guy that in the training they do everything, in the game not. He helped us a lot. He helped us a lot in the game. We know it was a kind of player also that we knew that when we play, normally play right winger. When we give the ball to him, we will not lose it. He would create something, and I don't know. Maybe he was expecting a lot from him to maybe to score more, because he was really good player, really quality. Dribbling was unbelievable. But I think that despite that, maybe he could play more for his potential, because he have a lot of quality. I think he helped us a lot anyways. So I don't think it's very fair to say that in training he was unbelievable and then in the game he didn't show up. I think it's very unfair.
I'm just quoting. I've never been there. I'm just asking your opinion. Thank you very much. Now, one of the subscribers have asked you a question regarding Michniewicz. When he came and became the manager, he put you on the bench. What was the reason? We loved you from the word go, we as supporters, but there was a break when you didn't play as much as we wanted you to be on the pitch.
Yeah, actually, it was more like was not a fight. He came to the team. He had these new ideas. He had like he wanted to play on Mrozinski. That was also a very good player, very young player. And of course, after he put me out 1 or 2 games, and we didn't get the results, the fans started, to ask a lot about me, why I didn't play. So he kind of arm wrestled with the fans, and I was, caught in the middle, and then I was in this stage that I was being called up to the Olympic team of Portugal, and having the fact that I was not playing the minutes that I wanted was also very frustrating, and also I don't get salary and everything. So from time to time I got a little bit disappointed with him, and it aggravated the situation a little bit also. But after many times, after many years, and through this Portuguese friend of mine that took me there, he managed to talk with him. And he said, and I also say, that if it was now, the things would be very differently. He told him that he liked me very much, that in that time the situation was really difficult emotionally to think straight because of everything that he went through. And he said that, if it was now, we would do the things differently. So everything is okay against us. We had like a little bit of struggle between two of us, but it's gone. It's gone. It's part of football. Every player have this kind of stuff in his career. We just need to learn from it and try to don't repeat it again.
Oh, thank you for this great answer. I also have questions about you, how you changed in those years. Let me just stick to them now. You said what Widzew gave you, but in those years, how have you changed, evolved as a human being? You said that the manager would have approached this situation in a different way, but all the journeys, you've been to Israel, you've been to Greece, you've been to India, now you're in Hong Kong. How do they develop you as a human being?
Well, a lot. The fact that I was through one of the best moments of the best experience of my life to play for Widzew fans every 15 days at home, and this is the highest point to the lowest point, to have like 5 or 6 months without salary and starting to grow up a family, like I told you before. Between these 2 points, I grew up a lot. Of course, I could be here regretting many things, but this also helped me to learn many things about life. You know, how I could be able. Now I look back, and as I told you, I was 6 months without salary, and I go inside the field, and I would give my blood for the fans. So this shows that in the character that we have, that sometimes we cannot see it, but deep inside of us we have it. We just need the right situations to bring it up. So it helped me a lot to identify this kind of character that I had, that I didn't knew that I had until then. It was really important for me.
Again, thank you very much for opening your experience to us. You spoke about positives and negatives. I'm very much interested in how Widzew was run at the time. I know the press. I was much younger at the time. Don't judge me, my man. Don't you dare. If you could tell us something about the administrative stuff. I'm talking about the managers, which is coach Andrzej Kretek at the time, I think. Then it was Michniewicz, and then there was Radosław Mrożkowski. Also, if you could just briefly summarize Cacek, what kind of owner was he? I know that there was his son too, and also director of sport, Zub. If you don't want, because you're saying it's too traumatic, I'm okay with that. But if you could, we would be very happy.
No, actually, to be honest, I have my relationship with the coaches were great. Of course, with Michniewicz we had like a turbulent phase, but then with Mrożkowski, I had an amazing relationship. I like him very, very much. I think he's an unbelievable coach. About the higher floor. We contact more with the son of Cacek, and this perhaps, in my opinion, was the problem, that the Cacek father, he gave too much power to his son. He gave the club for him to run, and I don't think he was ready for it or prepared for it, because we can see that the decisions that he made. The way that he managed he managed the club was not the best way, and especially you're speaking about amazing club, a big club in Poland. You need to be more professional than that. You need to be more serious than that. You need to be prepared for that, you know. And despite he has all the money in the world of his father, he managed to sink the ship, you know. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable what he has done, with so much fans coming every day, every game to watch the game. All the revenues that he had from tickets, from merchandising, from everything, and he able to sink the club. It's something that I would, the rest of my life, close the door, stay at home. I don't go out, you know. So.
In our society, we call him Voldemort. We try not to speak his name, just like in Harry Potter. And again, thank you very much for your answer. Now, I'm sorry, I need to read this. As a player, you want to win. Winning increases self-esteem, but it's also good for your income. You said that there was a problem with financial issues. When did you realize this project is more like Titanic project, it's going to sink?
Well, the more you saw Cacek son instead of Cacek father, that was going to be a problem, because with this son we can, you know, just look the other way, and you know, this is not maybe sometimes he says something that doesn't make any sense or wasn't good, but we know that the word that mattered was from his father. So, and he wasn't very, he didn't come very often there, you know. And when he came, normally is to make some decisions, and quite honestly, in the beginning, I thought that he had everything under control, despite some delaying of payments and everything. I thought that he had under control. But the less we start to see him, and we start to see more his son, we knew that something was going. And again, it's ridiculous that a team that can make himself profitable, because as I said, he has one of the biggest attendance in Poland, even in third league or second league or whatever. It's unbelievable that they were able to chimp us to put the ship down. But it was nothing that we were expecting, because deep down we always believed that Widzew was too big to go down. This was what we were attached as I speak a lot back then with the players. And the opinion was very common between us, was that, okay, maybe they are not paying us, but they will eventually do it, because Widzew is too big to fall down. Nobody believed that could happen what eventually happened to Widzew. So, but in the end of the day, they managed to do it, fortunately.
Unfortunately for you, for us, I hope that you didn't lose too much money.
Yeah, I lost.
Okay. We're going to erase it. Sorry. Let's not go to that again. Now, you got trapped in the middle of the storm because as a player, you knew that there was a fraction between us, supporters, and the ownership. How did it influence you as a football player? I understand you can say that it was also a character building experience, but how did you approach that?
Well, actually, like I told you, after some time, we got to choose a side, and obviously we choose the fan side, because we knew that from the owner side we didn't saw nothing that we can grab on, So we're like going in the pitch. I remember that one game, I don't know, it was before or after a derby or something. We had like a meeting inside the stadium, inside the dressing room with the leaders of the fans of Widzew. And and they told us that of course they know what's going on with the team, but they asked us to continue to fight for them, because they will always be there for us. And when you see this kind of communication between the fans and the players, and this kind of understanding and humility to come and ask to fight for them, because they will always be there for us, how can you not do it? So of course, we as a players, I believe 100% of the wrestling was with the fans, and we go inside the field, and once we put our step inside of the four lines, we forget everything, and we try to give everything for them.
Thank you. I promised I would take you maximum 40 minutes, so we're just going to the end of our conversation. One of the viewers asked whether you miss India. Yes, no?
Yes, of course. I miss everywhere I've been. I have amazing experience. India, it's unbelievable experience. It's very out of the box. Very when you are used to Europe and then you go to India, it's something that it's a continent. It's not even, I call it a continent. It's not a country. So many people, and the people that are truly inspiring. It's truly inspiring for me, and also was one of the phases in my career where I grew up more as a person was there. And I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to live there for 2 years also.
Thank you. The very last question, and I'll let you go. Let's go back in time, and you find yourself in a time loop, and it is the 12th of July 2010. You have the decision in front of you, a pen, a paper, signature of the new contract with Widzew. Would you do it?
I will not do it for 3 years. I will do it for 5.
Thank you very much. And on that happy note, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for your knowledge, energy. Thank you very much. We as a society, we really would love to say massive thank you to you for your time. Thank you very much, and all the best. Enjoy your Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Thank you.